Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here for our weekly update where I do a quick roundup of what happened that day, each day, and then I end the video by answering a question that somebody asked me across one of the platforms, whether here on Facebook or whatever. So today is Saturday, and today was all about freaking rabbits. I'm losing my mind. So this drama actually started yesterday. Okay, late last night. So late last night. Very late last night, this happened. We have girls here, right? Well, last night, Rowan, my younger son, came out to give them water because it is still winter. So we have to do water multiple times a day because it's frozen, okay? Water's frozen. And because water is frozen, we have to replace it. I want you to take a look at all these all these tracks. Look at all these tracks. Look at all these tracks. Do those look like bunny tracks to you? Because they are. Now, I came out because Rowan came running going, Mom, we have a problem. I'm like, what? He's like, the girls. They're everywhere. He wasn't kidding. There were rabbits all the way through, like all 5 of them. They are all. You see, all of this is all trampled down by rabbits now, and I'm losing my mind because they're like, oh God, we have 5 rabbits running in the bush. Oh my God. And it was dark. It was dark, and these guys were all running in there, and I was losing my mind. I don't know what to do about it. So we literally had to herd them back here. Herd them back, and what was that? Okay, now I'm hallucinating rabbits in the forest. They aren't there. We had to herd 5 girls back and push them back in here. We're bad at containing animals. So that was drama last night. And then this morning, 2 more of them were out, and that ended up being my fault because, you notice, I just moved this piece of wood back. That's where they were coming through. Because this side is too narrow for them to fit their butts through, but this side was wide enough. Because the ice that builds up, same like over here, the ice kind of built up and leaves quite a healthy chunk of space for them to squeeze through. So 2 of them were out again, and I was losing my mind. Don't ask. So then later today, you'll notice, well, you probably don't notice because you can only see 2 of them right here, but there's only 2 in this pen. Possum and Rowan have gone on a little sleepaway trip. Whether they're coming back or not, I am not sure. And yes, Falcon is out here. Falcon's back here. He's fine. Yeah. Get off of him. Bonnie's the dominant one. What are you going to do? But Falcon is back out here. Yes. He's pretty much healed. He's got a couple of hair spots that haven't come back yet. We're going to leave them to do their dominance thing. It's starting to rain. It's not super cold. It's raining a little bit. So, Rowan and Possum went for a little journey. A guy I know who breeds Rexes as well, he recently lost his 2 Rex bucks. And because he lost his 2 Rex bucks, he asked if he could borrow mine. Whether it will be permanent or not, we haven't decided. I haven't decided if he's just renting them or for him selling them. We'll discuss that in a couple months when they come back, or if they come back. Ducks. So they are not on the farm right now, just because he lost his 2 bucks, and he does need a couple of bucks to get started for the year. His girls are good. We have ducks over here. It's windy, kinda. It's a duck. Ducks. Yeah, ducks. I love ducks. Ducks. Anyway, it's getting really windy. That was our Saturday. Hopefully Sunday is not this windy, because, it's not that much fun. Well, it's Sunday. Thank you, Blue. And I don't know if you can hear it in the trees, but it's really warmed up, and there's drip of melting snow. It's not super warm, it's just a little bit above freezing, but that's better than the 40 below we had a week ago. Warmed up rather fast, And because things are starting to melt kind of oddly, it's it's kind of revealing a lot of the poops and stuff that got covered by the snow. And everyone's a little bit wet. The ducks don't mind. That's turkey. And the other thing we're doing, you're going to notice, and it sounds gross, but the other thing you're going to notice is we're slowly scraping as the snow melts and the poop corner gets revealed a little more. We're scraping that into the pen. Why are we scraping that into the pen? Things are going to get real icy real fast, and we need a way to stop the ice from forming. The best way to do that is, that's one of the reasons we leave most of the manure in the pen, is so we can scrape it out in the spring and cover the run in it. We'll remove it after the spring has fully arrived, but it really provides some grip because we have hoofed animals. We don't want everyone slipping and getting hurt. So, yes, thank you, man. So we like to scrape it out. It sounds gross, I know, because, you know, it's horse poop, but it's really good for grip, so nobody slips, especially Shadowfax. Horses are not super sure-footed on ice, so because we get a lot of ice where I live, that's what we're doing today. So that's what we've been doing, handling that. I was counting quail because we had a little breakout. So I was making sure we had everybody. Everybody got back in. We are fine with the quail. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. All sitting in the doorway. Yeah, they're good guys. Anyway, that is what's going on here today. You know, it's getting warm. Everything's melting. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow, but the sun's not really coming out. So if it would come out, it'd melt even faster, which is honestly not the greatest thing. Thank you, Blue. So I'm kind of glad the sun's not out and that hopefully we'll have a slow melt. Well, Monday apparently is also the day of rabbit drama. Rabbit drama kind of rules us right now. So looked out the window earlier and all of these ladies were out here. They were just running like crazy. And right now you can see there's 4 of them back in there. We got them back in. 4 of them are back in here. Look at this. This is rabbit poop. Rabbit poop. That's where they were, playing like crazy rabbits. So there are 4 of them in here right now. We got Silverado on top of the house. We got Deli at the back there. Up here we have Andersen and Stump. So the boys are there. So there's 4 of them in there. There's normally 5, aren't there? Yeah. Well, number 5. Let's go just see where number 5 is. We're having a little trouble getting our hands on her. So we'll just take a wander and we may not catch her tonight, I'm going to be honest. She's being very stubborn about this. So we'll just wander. There's a cat. That's Gwen. That's Gwen. We'll wander and stick our heads in. See who is, that's a cat, not a rabbit. But she's in the garage. We currently have a garage bunny. And that would be Trunk, our black otter female, is currently in the garage. She's crazy, and she's running around, and we can't catch her because she's very, very fast, and we have a lot of stuff in the garage, and she's very, very fast, and that's Cat too. That's Cat, not a rabbit. So they're all in here looking for the rabbit. She keeps blazing past us, gotta be honest. She's quick. She's quick. So probably won't catch her tonight. But anyway, that's what's going on Monday. Hopefully Tuesday's a little less crazy. Well, it's Tuesday. The dogs are pummeling each other, which is fine. It's been a much quieter day here today than it has been in the last couple of days, but it is very sticky out. Everything has been melting, so things are really kind of gross. So I'm walking on the path here carefully because it's also really slippery, because what happens when things melt? They freeze. So it's a lot of fun. On the plus side, we did get Trunk, or really Rowan got Trunk. So we've got mud and stuff starting to appear because it's, you know, spring-ish. There goes Trunk. That's Trunk right there. Trunk has returned. So we have all 5 ladies in here right now at the same time. Okay, we have Andersen there, and Stump is there, and that's Silverado. And up there we have Deli. So they are all accounted for. They are accounted for. All rabbits are exactly where they're supposed to be. So that is a good thing. Otherwise, today's been kind of boring. You know, nothing exactly happening. Very, very sticky. I have to be very careful as I walk. Dogs over there. Dogs over there. Horse and birds over there. You know, just doing their thing. But you got to be careful where you walk because it's quite slippery. Hopefully, after a couple of days of this, we will not have as much slippery nonsense. But yeah, puddles are even starting to appear in the barnyard and stuff. So, yeah, things are wet and gross. But hopefully that'll pass soon. It'll be several weeks. Let's not kid ourselves. It's Canada at the end of February. But if we're lucky, in a few weeks, things will be sort of dry. Let's see what Wednesday has in store. Well, it's Wednesday, and it's happening again. Look at this. Look at this. This was all cleared off. There's wildfire. But it's snowing again. The snow is going to get harder, and the wind is going to pick up. I'm kind of sick of winter. I know it's still the end of February, and I live in Canada, and I should just suck it up. But seriously? Do we have to do this again? I don't want it to snow anymore. I want to be done with the snow part. I just want to be done with it. So Shadowfax is out in the snow because he can be. Because he can. There he is. He can be out in the snow. He loves to be out in the snow. He's crazy out in the snow. Absolutely bonkers. But that is Wednesday. And the snow's coming down. And it's going to keep coming down. And it sucks. Oh well. Well, it's Thursday. The snow stopped. We cleaned up after the snow. It wasn't as much as they were thinking we might get. The most of the storm moved north of us. So that was good. But still, you know, March is coming. When is it going to stop being February? I'm sick of February. And it's not overly cold right now, but it's supposed to get cold. It's supposed to. Tomorrow's not going to be nice, and tomorrow night is supposed to be brutal. So, you know, what are you going to do, really? But, yeah, we're kind of getting sick of February. Kind of getting sick of it. And tomorrow's going to be taken up mostly by getting a washing machine delivered. So, you know, that ought to be right boring. You know, just a lot of time spent waiting. Because are delivery people ever on time? No. So, that'll be my tomorrow. Today, it is sunny and crisp. Not cold yet. And I hear the turkey. He's a very excited and there's a pony. He's happy. There's turkey. But yeah, it's not a bad day today. It's crisp, not cold yet. But just wait. Now it's cold. It's Friday. Dog is barking. And now it's cold. You know. It's going to be brutal tonight, and we spent all morning waiting for a washing machine delivery. But luckily, they were not late. They were here before noon like they were supposed to be. They gave me a call about 45 minutes before they were going to be there, which is good. So we were all good there. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know, it could have been high. It could have been much, much worse. I hear a goat. Anyway, let's go over here, see what's going on. There's chicken. There's chicken. There's goat. There's a bunch of ducks hanging out. Birds doing their thing. Hi. Just turkey. There's ducks back there. There's ducks in there too. Hi. Plenty of chickens. You know, chickens doing chicken things. There's Spark. There's another chicken. But everyone is doing excellent, even though it's getting colder again. Tomorrow's the beginning of March, and I'm so over this. I'm so over this. Well, here comes Hay for the pony. He's good. And for the goat. Oh, she's so she just woke up, so she's stiff. Fainting goats are always, you know, stiff. There's the dogs. Anyway, the question I was going to answer this week, excuse me. The question I was going to answer this week involves the dogs, oddly enough. So I had somebody ask why I don't use e-collars or prong collars when I'm training the Pyrenees. That's a really good question, and I have no problem answering it. So, e-collars and prong collars, if you don't really know what they are, prong collars are the kind of collars that they're made of metal, they're around the dog's neck, and they have little tines that when you kind of pull on the leash, they get kind of tight, and they kind of prick into the dog's neck. E-collars, sometimes called shock collars, are literally that. They deliver an electrical charge, and you usually control that from a device you hold in your hand. Okay? So, that's what that is. There's VOD. That's what they are. And no, I don't use them on the Pyrenees. I have no reason. I don't like having a handheld thing. I don't like holding things in my hand. But that's not why. But I'm not a fan of having to carry something around in my hand when I'm working with the dogs. So if I had an e-collar, it wouldn't really work that well. And I'm also not a super fan of using a leash. You'll notice, except when I'm reinforcing leash skills, we're rarely on a leash. So I don't use them a lot. I really don't use them at all. I don't even own a prong or an e-collar. So why don't I use them at all? Well, first of all, I just want to say I don't have a problem necessarily with e-collars or prong collars. Of course, you should not be using something that hurts your animal. So if you are hurting or frightening your dog, then you are using a tool incorrectly, or it's the wrong tool for you and your dog. Not every dog responds to every tool. So, don't hurt your dog. Don't scare your dog. That's mean. And also, you may live in an area where those kind of things are banned anyway. So it might be a non-issue. But I don't necessarily have a problem with those types of tools. I have a problem with some of the ways they're used, because people can be nasty. Like, think about, we don't have very good impulse control as humans. We get angry and it's real easy to yank on that leash or to hit a button, right? Because you're not thinking. So, yes, those tools are abused quite a lot, but in the hands of the right person, they're not necessarily a bad thing, and some dogs require that kind of training depending on the type of dog. So that being said, well, here come a bunch of chickens. Oh, let's get to chicken on film. So that being said, so I don't necessarily object to their use. If I don't object to their use, oh, here comes Blue. Hi, buddy. But so if I don't object, thank you, Blue. So if I don't object to them, hi, Whiskey. So if I don't object to their use, why don't I use them? Well, I'm a big proponent of carrying on, starting out, you're really getting, I really can't think. Let's go this way. I can't think. I'm going to go this way. He's so loud. But I'm a big proponent of starting out the way you need to carry on. Meaning, I don't want to use a tool that I am not going to use long term. And what's the point of a livestock guardian dog? The point is, at some point, after you're done training them, after they're trustworthy, after they know what to do, at some point, you are going to have that dog out there with the livestock when you can't be. That's kind of the point. There's Tequila. And Whiskey. Oh, yeah. They love to play. Let's go check on the bunnies. But, So Livestock Guardians are designed... Here comes Vodka. Doesn't want to miss out on the game. So, Livestock Guardians are designed to stay out here and protect the bunnies. That means I'm not always going to have my eye on them. So, a prong collar is useless because they're not on a leash. They can't actually do their job when they're on a leash. Okay, if I had these guys leashed, not these guys, I mean the dogs. I don't mean the rabbits. I mean if I had the dogs leashed, not the rabbits. If I had them leashed, not the rabbits. But if I had the dogs leashed, then essentially what ends up happening is they can't do their job. Prong collars only work if you have your dog on a leash. So that tool's automatically useless to me as the dogs are mature. So because I can't use it when the dogs are mature, I'm not going to bother using it when the dogs are young. Because I can't use it later on. Doesn't serve a purpose for me. What about e-collars? Almost the same thing. That was a slow motion fall over. That was pretty funny. But so it's almost the same deal with e-collars. If they're out here doing their job and I'm not, so if I'm in the house and Tequila's busy warding off the predators in the morning, which is when we have the most predators, if that's the case, then how on earth am I supposed to hit the button on the e-collar? I'm not here. I can't see them. I don't know what they're doing. So these kind of tools only work if you're there. Prong collars only work if you are holding a leash. E-collars only work if I can see the dogs. What if I can't see? There goes a cat, high-speed cat. But if I can't see the dogs, e-collars are useless. So boundary collars are different. You know, you can use a boundary collar, whether it's the wired ones or the wireless or the GPS or whatever. Those kind of things can keep your Pyrenees from wandering and that kind of thing. But actual e-collars are for training. Okay, so boundary collars, they may vibrate or make a noise or administer a small electric shock, depending on the type of boundary collar. They have different types. That kind of thing can work. And then GPS collars are excellent for keeping track of where the heck your dogs went. Livestock Guardians tend to be wanderers. But actual e-collars are for training purposes. So if they're for training purposes, they only work when you're there. Well, these guys have to work independent of me. I have a lot of videos where we talk about why they have to work independent of me. I'm not there. Their job is to do a job, not to hang out and wait for me to tell them what to do. I mean, Vodka is very proactive, and so is Tequila, at keeping these critters out of our yard. We don't want the bad critters in the yard. They can't do that if they're relying on an e-collar or a prong collar. So I don't use them because they're useless to me. They're not useless in all types of training. But I'm not going to buy a tool that I can't use when they're adults. And I'm not going to use those particular tools when they're adults and fully trained because they serve no purpose. Why would I slap a prong collar on them? That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go inside and they're going to stay out here. So I am not necessarily opposed to those kind of tools. And you apparently were peeing on a shovel. Good job. That's your shovel now. I don't want it. Okay. But ultimately, these tools do not work for us. That doesn't mean they don't work for anybody. It means they don't work for us. And that's okay. That's actually okay. All right? It's okay for not everyone to use the same tools. Okay? It's important that we understand that not everyone is going to use the same tools. Okay? I don't have a problem with those tools when they're used correctly and appropriately. What do I have a problem with? I have a problem when those tools are abused, or when people go after people who are using them appropriately, or the other way, when people attack other people who are not using those tools. If you're not using those tools, that's good too. That's fine, as long as it suits your needs. Because I have seen attacks on both sides. You have people who attack other people because they don't use those tools, and people who attack other people because they do. So we're not attacking anyone. Okay? We're not attacking anyone. What we're saying is that you use the tools that make sense for you. I'm going to use the tools that make sense for me. And those types of tools, the e-collars and the prong collars, are not at all useful for me. They might be perfectly useful for you. They're not for me, because these guys are doing a job whether I'm standing next to them or not. Anyway, that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.